Access to affordable healthcare options have been a nationwide concern for years now. In the field of mental health counseling, we've seen essential treatments and medications become a luxury for those who can afford it. But now, the emergence of AI technology may pose a solution. Hi, my name is Zachariah Sheely.
And I'm Emily Rodriguez. To start the episode, we are going to highlight the collaboration of AI and therapy. We'll hear directly from multiple AI experts, a licensed therapist, a client in therapy, and a current psychology student. First, our reporter Osvaldo Godoy interviewed the director of AItherapy.com, a pioneer in the integration of artificial intelligence in mental health treatment.
Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing various sectors, and mental health therapy is no exception. The director of AItherapy.com has been at the forefront of this innovation for over a decade.
My name is Dr. Fjóla Helgadóttir, and I'm the director of AI Therapy, which I have been running now since 2012. So we are more than 11 years old.
Dr. Helgadóttir highlights the critical role of AI in mental health therapy and the challenges it faces.
When we are focusing on mental health, we almost have to multiply those concerns because we're dealing with vulnerable populations.
She delves into the benefits of AI-driven therapy platforms over traditional methods, but she also emphasizes the potential risks and the need for a delicate balance.
So the benefits are obvious in the sense that with those systems, you can clearly reduce costs and they are scalable. But the risk is, on the other hand, is that the question, are they going to be as good as humans? It is possible that some of these things can actually do more harm than good.
On the other hand, ensuring user data privacy and security has to be a top priority for AI-driven therapy platforms.
Obviously encrypting the data, making sure that the personal identifying information is secure, and also things like not letting third party have access to data. And I think this is once again where you have, if you have sort of qualified mental health professional in the background, they're not going to make you have in the small print, that you're happy to release your data. Just being, making sure that the systems are set up so they are actually serving the people rather than, profit and that kind of stuff.
As explained by an expert in the field, artificial intelligence seems to have arrived in the area of psychology and does not plan to leave.
Now we will hear from a recent college graduate, Christina Crouch, who's trying to find an affordable option for therapy, to hear her thoughts on the purpose of therapy and if AI can add to its effectiveness.
The thing that I would love to experience through therapy is just like the connection to a person, just being able to have someone understand my story and who I am in a real and personal way.
Are you still receiving therapy currently?
No, unfortunately I'm not, because now that I have graduated, I can no longer receive free therapy. It would all have to be out of pocket and like my own income.
Have you heard of how AI is now giving free therapy sessions or a cheaper version of therapy?
I have. I think it's interesting because it could work and it could definitely fill the gaps that some people need, but I don't think it could give the same support and answers that a real human being could give someone.
Do you see any dangers with therapy being over AI, or do you think it actually could be better than an actual therapist? Because there's stories of sometimes people going to their therapist and their therapist actually making it worse for them and in their session. Or do you think that AI could then stand against this and provide a safer platform for people? Or do you think maybe there's more dangers to AI?
I think there's more dangers to AI because
there could be a very sensitive situation. Let's say someone's like feeling suicidal, and an automatic response
could trigger someone instead of a human being being able to feel and understand the situation and give the right answer.
Now, before we go any further, we wanted to ask the public what they thought about AI, so we went on the streets of downtown West Palm Beach to ask the public what they thought of the subject.
So recently, AI has been in the news for talking about helping people with their mental health and therapy. Do you think this is a good idea, and would you consider it?
I would not consider it. I think just like I said, speaking to a person and having that person understanding your true emotions versus an artificial intelligence thing, I don't see that really being, it wouldn't impact me. I wouldn't want to do it.
At this point in time, I certainly wouldn't use it as a therapist. I think that's probably one of the toughest applications to think about using it for.
Do you think artificial intelligence is a good thing for the world or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. I think the world's moving forward. I think everyone's going to have to adapt to it eventually.
I definitely think it's going to take over society, unfortunately, and you won't have the real person, but I do think it's going to take over.
Next, AI strategist Marcus Berthart will provide insight into the nature of artificial intelligence and its potential role in assisting individuals facing mental health challenges.
Coming from San Francisco, AI specialist Marcus Bernhardt shares his vision for how he believes artificial intelligence will make its lasting imprint on mental health therapy.
I think good old-fashioned traditional AI can play a big role in helping surface red flags and say, in this conversation, maybe that person was more than just a little bit stressed. In this conversation, this person might need a follow-up call. Those are additional tools that will help the humans.
In our multicultural world, diverse values and customs set the standard for how mental health problems should be approached. While AI technologies may prove beneficial in the American context, its applicability to patients in other countries may differ.
We should not assume that if a system works well in the English language, that it works well in any other language, or where there's cultural differences of how people are allowed to speak or not allowed to speak to professionals about their own mental health, about their stigmas in cultures. All of these things need a really good grasp of research so that whatever we're building, whatever we're utilizing, we are not leaving out subsets of the population.
Bernhardt provides insight into how he envisions the future where AI developers and mental health professionals merge expertise to enhance therapy practices.
We're looking at multidisciplinary teams generally approaching these kind of issues and solving them. And you will need the technical expertise, both of the subject matter expert, in this case mental health. You will also need cultural and language specialists. You then need people who are specialists in programming and training the tool. And you have to bring all that into alignment, having to approach these issues and find really good solutions where the safeguards and ethical considerations and biases and subsets within populations need really special consideration.
Emily Rodriguez sits down with Palm Beach Atlantic University's counselor Kathleen Lavanas to discuss her views on the nature of AI apps and how they may evolve in the future.
I think there should be some sort of ethical boundary around the whole idea of the artificial intelligence being implied into the field because it's such a mental realm.
Right now, if you look into any of your apps, you can Google mental health app and you'll probably see about like 30 to 40,000 out there. And who's creating that? Anyone can create that. And so if you're going to list it or label it as a mental health app or something to help treatment for someone, it has to fall along the guidelines to know this is something all counselors can use, since all counselors have the same type of accreditation and licensure.
Because from COVID to now, it's grown so much. How do you think in the next 20 years it'll be in effect and just put into the field?
The apps are improving, right? Based on some of the things that, I've mentioned, and now that we're seeing the technology, AI, it's here to stay, right? And there are a lot of people that gravitate and have access to that and can use that to their benefit. And right now, that's what a lot of universities are working through right now, because now they're developing wearable devices. So with your medical provider or mental health provider, you can have these devices that's part of your treatment. I can foresee it's probably going to be used a lot more. Because one of the things when it comes for mental health providers is how can we get clients to follow their treatment outside of the session?
That's all for this week's newscast. We've explored how ChatGPT and other AI technologies are changing the landscape of mental health support.
While they may offer affordable solutions, the question remains, is it truly worth it? Thank you for joining us on this special episode for The Beacon Today.